Peace, family. I'm just sitting here reading Kemetic Diet, and I'm just reflecting on like my behaviors um these last couple of days. Now, I know I recorded a video speaking on the Essence of Vitality cleanse that I'm doing and how my goal or my intentions for the month of September is cleansing, and which those are still my intentions, but things didn't go to this plan of perfection that I have in my head. And through my I don't look at any of these as failures, but like through this point in my life that I'm at, um I've been noticing like more and more. And so I was just at this part in Kemetic Diet, and I have the book right in front of me. I'm highlighting and reading and stuff like that. It talked about dull foods, and I'm gonna read this right here because this is exactly what I've been dealing with. It says dull foods are are not good for the body or the mind, but much like the stimulating foods, they create an addictive form of dependency, wherein even if the person has a full understanding of the letter deleterance, it's like deleteriance, because it has delete and then it has reus, deleterious effects of the food, he or she continues to consume them anyway, using the excuse, well, I want to enjoy my life even if I shorten it. The weakened will disables a person's reasoning capacity, as well as their willpower to resist the urge for foods. The dullness of the mind also prevents them from understanding that there are other methods to resolve the problems of life. However, the power of the spirit is indomitable, and if a person, no matter how dull, begins to tap into the source, they will gain the strength to overcome the negative state. That part where it's like the weakened will disables a person's reasoning capacity. And I always leave off on a certain page in this book and come back to it, and it's literally like reading, like connecting with everything like I've been dealing with, like while I haven't been interacting with the book. Like it's crazy, but I've been basically dealing with the weakened will. The weakened freaking will. And like I said, my goal was to go into cleansing, cuz I ain't gonna lie, like I've had processed food, like not a lot, but like I've had the Mother's Best, or like Mother's, it's some kind of brand in Kroger, and it's still like processed cereal, but it's like the healthiest form of like the processed cereal, if that makes sense. I've had like that here and there, but I've also had like watermelon, I've had smoothies, like, you know what I mean, like I've had like a balance of both. But again, my intentions were not to incorporate any cooked food. But what I'm noticing is, like, because I resonate with the spiritual enlightenment so much, I be trying to take off running, not realizing that I look down and both of my shoes are loose and the shoestrings are knotted and tied together. So like I'm trying to take off and run, but I haven't even done this first, step, the groundwork first, by trying to untangle these knots. You know what I mean? And it's like a lot of the time I keep tripping up or I keep falling is because a lot of these things you have to do gradually. You have to make sure that whatever level or issue that you're at, that you deal with that at its root level first before taking on something more. And so through this process, the universe, or the spiritual journey has like been my spiritual teacher in a way, because I've had to have to reflect on what it is that I want, like my progress that I'm making, like am I seeing the results that I want to see. Like I'm having to reevaluate all of these things within myself. And it's almost like a spiritual teacher, without being a spiritual teacher, like kind of like the unknown forces like are my spiritual guide. I don't know. It's just crazy to, like, when you think about it, like, in depthness. But so, yeah. That's why I don't like saying stuff definitely, like, or being too excited about it, because if it doesn't play out the way that I said it was, then it looks as if, like, it's not aligned with truth or honesty. But my intentions were in the right place. I'm just, that's another reason why I don't come on and just let people know, like, what's going on, like, right then and there, you know, because shit changes, shit happens. Like, it may not always go that way that you saying it's supposed to go. There might be a hiccup there. You never know until, like, things actually play out. So that's why I like to wait sometimes until I do have my things together to be able to come on and, like, speak, you know. But at the same time, again, like I've stated before, I like to share and be transparent, you know, while I'm going through these same emotions, because, you know, people out there may be going through the same thing, and, you know, that'd be kind of selfish. Like, you know, if you're going through something that I could possibly relate to and you don't share it because you don't think nobody could go through it, but you could assist me, like, just take that chance, sis. Or bro, just take that chance. But yeah. This video has no structure right now. It's just literally thoughts, you know. Because I was just coming to tell y'all, letting y'all know where I was at. Also, this part right here, I'm on this page, where it was like, a serious spiritual aspirant must learn about the nature of food as he or she climbs the ladder of mystical spirituality. In doing so, a healthy constitution can be created, which will allow for a positive and fruitful spiritual movement towards self-discovery. Since every human being is not exactly the same as another, the exact diet which is optimal for each individual will be slightly different. Therefore, each individual should experiment with their diet within the broad guidelines given here in order to discover the right combinations within the lucid diet mucus-free category, which is best suited for him or her. So basically within here, like I was talking about the lucid foods earlier, which I don't even know if I mentioned that, but there are 3 different categories of food. Lucid foods, what's the other one? Lucid foods, agitating foods, or dull foods. And we talked about the dull foods. The lucid foods promote harmony. It says inner mental peace, bright intellect, willpower, energy, and vitality. And that's what everybody pretty much needs to be able to accomplish their goals and to feel at peace and to have, like, to satisfy, like, that your, like, soul's urge, you know, within them. And it also says they are nutritionists and enhance the body's ability to fight off disease. So the lucid foods are whole foods, cereals, fresh vegetables and fruits, legumes, which are beans, seeds, nuts, sprouted seeds, herbs, teas, sunlight and clean air, etc. I was about to say something, y'all. Oh yeah. I just be agitating myself, and I feel like if I actually, like, sit down and I need to finish reading this book. I feel like that's what my biggest issue is because the book builds up into teaching you, because I'm just about to get to the part where it speaks on the affirmations, like the 42 laws of Mayat. I'm trying to flip through, y'all. The purification of the heart. I'm getting into that. And then I'm about to get into chapter 3. Hopefully y'all can see that. Fasting for health of the body, mind, and soul. So it gets into the preventative health and self-healing. It also gets into the guidelines for correct eating habits. And says this is, like, the main thing, like, you should follow. You can work around, you know, like, everything else, meaning with the certain foods you eat within the lucid diet, which the lucid diet is within Kemetic Diet. So don't get confused. Like, it's not a separate diet. It's just basically the mucusless foods that are going to work best for your body. So it gives you guidelines for correct eating habits. Then it gets you into the 12 to 16-hour fast, 24-hour fast, 3-day fast, purging, notes on fruits. And then it gets into how to conduct the cleansing process, the Kemetic healing program. And as it kind of walks you through everything that is included in that, it then gets into, where do we go? It gets into Smatawi, which is yoga. And it starts getting into the things that you do, like meditation, and break down the food for the body, the spiritual things, and the things that you should implement, and why it's important to implement. Like, it's nothing that, it's not gonna be a quick read. And you know what I mean? And I think those steps that I'm looking for of how to implement, because I'm not really implementing those things because I don't have the structure, I don't have the knowledge behind it, the things that I need to equip me to make sure that my foundation is strong. So that's why I'm glad I'm getting into this resource, because it's exactly like what I need. So I just know, like, as I continue to read and continue to, you know, gain access and gain knowledge, that my spiritual journey will be a little bit more like more smooth sailing. Like, I won't feel as, you know, all over the place, or like, you know, like I have all this information but it has like no structure. So like, as I get more into what I'm supposed to be implementing and why I'm supposed to be into implementing it, and studying the mystical like principles and stuff, like as it talks about, as I get further in the book, I feel like I won't have this like agitation of the mind, because I know that once I have, you know, clarity on those things that I still, you know, have fog around, I feel like I will, you know, I'll be okay. But that, I feel like, is the biggest thing. But I'm glad I get to take y'all on this journey, and I'm glad y'all get to see a little bit of that. Because as I speak before, I don't like getting on and doing these, you know, in the moment videos. Like, I do, because you get the transparency, you get the authenticity. But at the same time, it agitates me, because I'm better like when I write my thoughts down and I can process what it is I want to say, versus like having a certain feeling that like I feel and I know what it is I'm striving to say, but I just can't verbally. I just have a really hard time with expressing that sometimes. It's almost like a person who has stuttering issues. You know what I mean? Like, you know, sometimes they're okay, and, you know, sometimes they have those spells where they just, you know, it's not working out. So, yeah. So, I just came to y'all because I'm excited. I'm really excited getting into all of this and learning more about myself, and understanding why it is I keep going through, like, where's the break in this cycle? Like, how do I really conquer and master, you know, this, so I don't have it be an issue anymore? Like, I want to, you know, move forward, propel, but I understand the obstacles are also teachers. You know what I mean? Like, they really give clarity to the experience, because you learn through those impressions that the obstacles make. So it's deep enough, y'all. So I was just coming to y'all to express that. So that's all I have for now, family. So peace, love, and light, and I'll see y'all in another video. Peace.